This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
So it looks like Team AJ could be ready to walk away from any kind of further negotiations with Team Wilder, due to the fact that Team Wilder are just ducking telephone calls, not responding to emails. They have no interest in the fight whatsoever. Doesn't matter what kind of money is put forward or offers or anything like that. They are refusing to even sit down and discuss it. And this is according to Barry Hearn. Of course, he's the top dog at Matchroom Sport, and he's looking after this particular situation for Eddie Hearn, because Shelley Finkel, the manager of Deontay Wilder, lets personal feelings get in the way as far as Eddie Hearn goes, because Eddie Hearn will call him Shirley Winkle, things like that. So Shelley Finkel is letting personal emotions get in the way of business. For those of you who would have seen my last interview with Eddie Hearn, he said that he was actually going to remove Shelley Finkel from the equation from all this, as in go directly to Al Heyman. But it looks like they're going to be giving Shelley Finkel another crack at the dice. But either way, it does seem that Barry Hearn is pretty much trying, or is at least insinuating, that they are reaching the point of it's time to walk away. And this is what Barry Hearn had to say. We would desperately love to fight Deontay Wilder in Wembley on April 13th. We have offered him successively more and more, not just guaranteed money, but percentage money. It will generate many times more than he has ever earned in his life. But there's a certain level beyond we won't go, because AJ is the A side. Unfortunately, to report that so far, despite 3-4 emails, dozens of telephone calls, we haven't had one response from Deontay Wilder's team. So sooner or later, you take the hint, and then maybe they just don't want us that bad. But then they're also, I guess, planning a Tyson Fury rematch. So that is Barry Hearn's statement. So, article in the description box. So what can you read into that? It does look like that they're pretty much at the point now where you can say, you know what, we've tried calling you, we've emailed you, we've done everything that we can. We've offered you more money than you've ever earned in your entire career. We've offered you a hell of a guaranteed purse with a percentage as well as. So not only are you guaranteed a minimum double of what it is that you're ever earned in your life, but there's a percentage on top of that should it go further. As in, if the more money the event makes, the more money you make. That's very, very generous, I think. But Team Wilder just don't want the fight. As I said to you guys long time ago, they just don't want it. They just don't. There's nothing you can do, there's nothing you can say that would suggest that Wilder does want the fight, or ever did want the fight. We've discussed the 50 million. He had to come to the UK with Frank Warren to get the 50 million. But Joshua just cannot legally fight on BT Sport. So even back then, I was telling you that Wilder does not want the fight. He just doesn't want it. There's nothing you can do. And I know that a lot of his fanboys are Wilder fanboys. It doesn't matter what you do, it doesn't matter what you say, it doesn't matter how obvious it is. They're never going to admit that Wilder never wanted to fight. He doesn't want to fight. These guys said, we don't care about what's going on behind the scenes. We don't care about the money. All we want is them two in the ring, undisputed. We want to find out who's the best. But ultimately, of course, now Joshua is involved and actually putting in offers, as he has done for the last several months. They're saying, well, actually, we don't really want that fight anymore. We don't care. Bring on a Tyson Fury rematch. Let's go fight Dominic Brazil. But yeah, at one point, they all wanted undisputed. But when the doors are opened and the communication is opened, let's talk about the fight. His fanboys, Wilder, his team, just don't want the fight. They're afraid. Are they afraid of losing more than they are of potentially winning? What I mean by that is they're looking at it as, well, this could be the very last fight that I have, because if I lose, what else have I got? But you're guaranteed a rematch anyway, so you're getting 2 cracks of the whip for undisputed. 2 cracks at it. Come to the UK, Wembley. 100,000 people in attendance watching you. But we know Wilder is frightened to death of leaving the shores of America with his WBC belt. He's frightened to death of it. But Wilder is a loss waiting to happen. He really is. He's had a terrible year. A real terrible year. He lost to a guy who was what, 70% in Tyson Fury. He lost that fight, but he was gifted a home cooking by the judges. So, listen, what can you do? I mean, for me, I'm kind of bored of it, to be honest with you. I don't know how much more things that you can really talk about with this that would just show the Wilder fans, your boy don't want it. He never wanted it. He has no reason in the world. No reason in the world whatsoever. Guaranteed, double your purse. There's a date and venue. It's for undisputed. There's a guaranteed rematch. There's a percentage in that as well. What more could you possibly want? What more could you need? But he just doesn't want to do it. Listen, I get it. He wants to rectify that gifted draw that he had with Tyson Fury. Listen, I get that point. I get it. But he should never have been fighting Tyson Fury in the first place. He should have already signed to have fought Joshua. And that fight could have been done and happened at the end of October at the Principality Stadium. I know people still talk about Wembley, how September the 22nd, it didn't happen there, so therefore that was a no deal. What difference does it make if Wilder's fighting at Wembley? Showtime refused to put it on pay-per-view in September. They refused to do it. That's why they couldn't do Wembley. But his fanboys keep making excuses, but what more can you do? This shows right here. They've sent out emails. Try calling. Shelley Finkel and whoever else just isn't picking up the phone, just not responding whatsoever. Deontay Wilder has already said, I don't care how much money Joshua's offering. I don't want that fight. He's said it with his own mouth. He's not interested. All he was interested in ever doing was building up his profile by piggybacking off of the name of Anthony Joshua. That's all he's ever done. Listen, he's made a career of faking it until he's made it. And now he's just not willing to step up. Well, what can you do? I suppose all Joshua can do now is look to maybe try and get the Tyson Fury fight and, just leave Wilder to go do what he really wants to do, which is fight Dominic Breazeale. That's what he wants to do. He wants to fight Joshua's leftovers. Or potentially he wants a rematch with Tyson Fury. Why? Because he knows it's either going to go 12 rounds and he's going to get done on points, or he's going to knock out Tyson Fury. Either way, he ain't getting knocked out, is he? But either way, he ain't going to come to the UK, is he? Everything has to be here in America, here in America, here in America. Yeah, he calls Anthony Joshua and everybody else local champions, like Joshua's a British champion. Yet Joshua's saying, fight me in the UK and you got a guaranteed rematch in America. Listen, it's a fair thing that they're offering. Don't worry about what Joshua's getting. Worry about what you're getting. Is $28 million not enough? Plus upside of percentage? Is it not enough? And a guaranteed rematch? Is it not enough for you? Quite clearly, the WBC title means more to him than money. And his team as well, because what happens if Wilder loses? What else have they got? Shelley Finkel has nothing else. He doesn't manage anybody else right now. Anyway, that's what's going on. Article in the description box. Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, and of course subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.